The non-canon expert is back on Twitter at SW Reading Club, where I will be asking the important, hard-hitting questions only the bravest would dare to ask, and uncovering the biggest secrets surrounding the Star Wars universe. I look forward to interacting with all of you and discussing all things Star Wars over on Twitter. As a deeply religious man who remembers the hundreds of martyred characters who are no longer with us, I was pretty excited to find out that The Force Awakens introduced the Church of the Force. Outside of my own connection with the spirit world, a Church of the Force seemed like a very interesting and positive addition to the Star Wars universe. It is nice to see characters who can't use the Force, but who understand it and recognize its importance and role within the galaxy. However, there wasn't much information provided in the actual movie, which left even me, a non-canon expert, scratching my head trying to come up with the who, what, and why. In this video expose, I will discuss what the Church of the Force is, what their beliefs are, and their importance to The Force Awakens. But first, let's take a minute to remember our fallen friends. The Church of the Force was an underground faith that worshipped the ideals of the Jedi. The Church existed during the period of the Galactic Empire, when the belief in these Jedi ideals, or any worship of the supernatural for that matter, was strictly forbidden in the galaxy as a violation under Imperial law. Although they worshipped Jedi ideals, their deity was actually the Force itself. The members who made up the Church of the Force, including Lord Tekka, did not believe the lies that were told by the Empire regarding the Jedi Order's betrayal of the Republic, or the declaration by Palpatine that they were traitors and Republic enemies. As a quick aside, I personally like this addition to the story surrounding Order 66 and the rise of the Empire, as I've always wanted to see that there were some individuals who didn't believe that the Jedi betrayed the Republic. So it is nice to see that there were those who not only disbelieved the lies of Palpatine, but then also stepped in to worship and embrace the Jedi's ideals in their absence. After the Empire was established under the rule of Palpatine, and the Jedi Order was destroyed following the Clone Wars, the Church of the Force held the belief that the Jedi would once again return to the galaxy. Further, not only did they foresee the return of the Jedi Order and their ideals, but the Church also saw this return as a necessary step in bringing balance to the Force. Importantly, the practitioners of the Church of the Force, including Lord Tekka and Ilko Munica, were not Force sensitives themselves, and therefore only embraced and worshipped the virtues of the Force. Many members of the Church, such as those living within the spiritual colony of Twanul on Jakku, chose to follow an ascetic lifestyle, punctuated by incredible self-discipline and the practice of self-deprivation, thereby rejecting all forms of comforts and luxuries. Contrary to how it may appear, the practitioners within the Church of the Force who we are introduced to on Jakku were not pacifists, and were willing to defend themselves when needed. However, church members such as Dasha Promenti and Ilko Munica chose to utilize weapons that they made themselves. In the case of the latter, this was done in order to withhold funds from large corporations in the galaxy that manufactured weapons with the view to profit from the violence these weapons resulted in. Certainly, this is very noble, but self-made weapons could make things a little difficult if a highly advanced ultra-militaristic force led by a poorly parented Darth Vader wannabe drops out of the sky demanding highly coveted information from you. Sadly for our religious friends, the results were not good. Probably the most interesting member of the Church of the Force that we've been introduced to so far is that of Lord Tekka in The Force Awakens. Like the other members of the Church of the Force, Tekka was not a Force sensitive himself, and therefore could not use the Force. He began following the underground faith of the Church during the reign of the Galactic Empire. Lord Tekka's personal story is a fascinating one. During the dark times of the Empire, he utilized his skills as an explorer and knowledge of the galaxy and its history to seek out and find Jedi lore in order to protect it from the Empire. This protection was necessary at the time, as the Empire attempted to suppress and destroy the important pieces of Jedi lore. Lor San Tekka's role in the events of the galaxy came to a crescendo following the Battle of Endor and the destruction of the second Death Star, as he provided his services to Luke Skywalker and helped him to seek out Jedi lore during the period of galactic reconstruction. Further, Tekka was able to share the information that he was able to gather over the years regarding worlds throughout the galaxy that had been destroyed by the Empire, thereby greatly assisting the emerging New Republic. Of course, as we know from The Force Awakens, Lor San Tekka held firm to his beliefs that the Jedi were a necessary component to balancing the Force, and honored that commitment by first providing the Resistance with the map fragment in his possession that would lead them to Luke Skywalker, and second, by refusing to provide Kylo Ren with information regarding the map, ultimately costing Tekka his life. I look forward to seeing what role the Church of the Force plays in Episode 8 or 9, as it may fall upon the Church to once again keep the ideals of the Jedi alive, as Luke and Rey put a more permanent solution into motion. I'd also like to see if the Church remains committed to the belief that the Jedi are a necessary step to bringing balance to the Force, or if this belief will be amended in any way. There we have it, a comprehensive guide to the Church of the Force as introduced in The Force Awakens. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, why not give a like or leave a comment? If not for me, for our fallen friends.